Hi everybody, this is Deborah Brosine with Deep Orb Store, and I did my first video just a couple days ago, and so I wanted to get back with you and just share a couple things. Um, Mostly, I guess, ask from the community a couple questions. This is supposed to be fourth quarter, which is supposed to be the high money stage, but I don't know why, but since I've been back from Cincinnati, which has been since October 23rd, and I left all my sales active, I've only had 2 sales, and that's been well over a week. And it seems, though, that even though I'm a beginning seller and that I've only been around for about 3 months now, I was having a sale or two almost every day until the time that I went out of town for vacation. So I don't know what's happened there because I've just been going back gangbusters. So yesterday I went in and I took all my listings, which I said I wouldn't do because I did comparative pricing. I felt they were good, but I started doubting myself. And I think that's what it all came down to, is that I just started doubting myself of whether I was doing it right or not. So I went in and I changed all my listings to buy it now with best offer. So I don't really like to do that. I did that on a couple things, anything that's not shoes, I should say. I do that on everything that's not shoes. But I went in yesterday and I did it on my shoes too. Because sometimes, like one time I had a person offer me $1. And then another time I had a person who offered me a fair price. And I agreed, and even though it was a vintage collectible. And I sent it to her, and she came back saying it was not as described. It was exactly as described. And I had freshly laundered it. I had put it in a vacuum sealed bag, and she said it smelled funny. Maybe she doesn't like Snuggle Blue fabric softener. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up having to pay return shipping. It was a very awkward item, and I just find that people who are buy it now with best offer or who want to, I question whether or not it's going to be a big hassle. So I'm wavering back and forth, because most of my buy it now sales with the set price, those have been my best sales. People haven't questioned it. They've just bought it straight out, gave good feedback, and that was it. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. Should I do best offer? Should I just go back and look at the pricing? eBay sends me these things where I'm not competitive with somebody else. And I usually will adjust my price on most of their recommendations. But like today, I got one that said that everybody else was selling it for $9 more. Well, I didn't really feel that it's a basketball shoe. I didn't really feel that it was worth $9 more because it was in a pre-owned condition, but I wouldn't probably pay more than what I had it listed for. And so, I guess that those analytics are just kind of computer oriented, and they're trying to help. But I feel like when I take their recommendations, my sales do better. Yesterday I was having a problem. Well, actually, for the past couple of days, I was having this problem where my photos would not upload. I do all my listings, and I go to upload my photos, and they would just green swirl round and round and round. And I thought, okay, what's wrong here? I'm working on an iMac. I'm using an iPhone for my pictures. I've never had trouble with my iMac before. I started to get worried that something was wrong because it was taking such a long time uploading. So I went online to the Apple Help community, and I don't think you have to have a Mac to use this, but they gave me this, put this on here. I hope this isn't backwards for you guys. It is backwards. Okay. Well, this website, where's my, there it is. HTTP, okay, it's www.opendns, like domain name server.com. opendns.com. And even though I have a degree in cyber forensics and I'm fairly computer literate, I was, hesitant to add these server numbers to my computer, but I was in one of those kind of moods of like, you know what? I don't care. I mean, it's just like, I don't care. If it'll fix it, it'll fix it. And it was amazing. I just added the two, it will give you step-by-step instructions, but I added the two server numbers to my readily available server numbers. So like, I guess what happens when you have a server and traffic is going through it, if it gets a lot of traffic, it's going to slow down. Well, this kind of just like is like the express train. So everything was uploading really nice and fine. So I wanted to share that, pass that on to you guys. The other thing I wanted to do, because somebody is already watching it, and I think it's going to sell pretty soon, is I wanted to show you my all-time 3-month lifespan jackpot item. When I went up to Cincinnati, I went up for my 40th reunion, and fortunately, I was blessed to grow up in a really good neighborhood. It was a wealthy neighborhood, and as a result, all the thrift stores around there were also very upscale compared to what I have down here in Florida. I'm on the Panhandle, kind of near Golden Finger Picker, I think. From what he said, I've heard him talk, and I think he's in Fort Walton. I'm in Navarre, and he's mentioned a thrift store that I know exactly where he's talking about. And I'll tell you about that in a minute, about the thrift store. But anyway, when I went up to Cincinnati, I ended up having 3 huge boxes, and it cost me like $125 to ship it all back home, besides what I could put in my suitcase. And right now I am just about completely broke. I mean, I maxed out my credit card, and I have spent just about every available cash that I have. I'm not kidding. But I'm listening to Prof Sales and Karen right now telling me that, it's not good to keep listing every day. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I could take this computer and walk around the house and show you my house right now, it's amazing. I mean, I have shoes and shoes and shoes and just carpenter bags full and full and full of clothing. We actually got rid of 2 of our couches. We have like a great room downstairs, and it would actually probably fit like 2 living rooms and an office. Well, now we have the 1 living room on the side here, and the rest is all my stuff. And I can hear my husband coming home going, oh, really? 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 And I quickly changed the subject. Anyway, I want to show you my jackpot item. I already had it all packed up, but I almost don't want to sell these. But I found these in Cincinnati. Can you see them? These are vintage 1990 Tommy Hilfiger 2-tone saddles with the red rubber bottom. They have barely been used, almost brand new. And I'm absolutely in love with them. And I first listed them, I put them online for $175. And I said, I know I have this ridiculously priced, but this is my favorite item in my store. And then one day later, I went back in, and I said, okay, that's really probably too much. So I put it down to $150. And I have a watcher, so we'll see what happens. I also wanted to talk about this thrift store that Golden Picker and I go to. I think this is the one he's talking about, the one that benefits for the cats. And it's a little tiny thrift store. It's in Fort Walton, and all the benefits go to the kitty cats and to kitty cats that need homes and everything that they do with the kitty cats. And when I discovered this place, I was just so thrilled because it's like all their clothes were $3. All their shoes were $4, men's and women's. And if they were absolutely brand new shoes, then they were $6. And on Thursdays, all the clothes are half price, meaning that they're all like 50 cents to $1.50. So I was thrilled. I went there and I got so much source, so many shoes, so many clothes, and a lot of really, really nice things. And one of the things I got was this pair of Osiris shoes. These were new, so I paid $6 for them. And I got many more things like that. I got a brand new pair of Birkenstocks for $6 that sold for $63. And just great stuff. Well, I went back in there a couple days ago and I was just really surprised because all their merchandise, it wasn't that way anymore. It's like the first thing I picked up was a pair of Uggs, and they had them priced at $35. And I know Uggs are expensive boots, but then as I looked in other stuff, they did, in all fairness, before have some merchandise, like if it was leather or something that was really nice, they would put on there the price and not applicable to half price off day. But it seemed like they were being much more selective, specifically in the items of things that I was looking at, like with the shoes. I did find a pair of Echo women's golf shoes that were fairly new, and so those were still $4. But it made me wonder about this other thrift store I go to down the street in Navarre. And I used to go to them all the time. And they would have 25% off tag, 50% off tag, and 75% off tag. And usually I would go, this was before I was reselling, and I would do 75% off tags for myself, unless there was something I really fell in love with. Well, they did away with that, and then they just kept individually pricing and everything, and it was getting so much more expensive and so much more expensive. So I just quit going there. And a couple of months went by. I don't know how many months went by. But I did stop in there like about 3-4 weeks ago. And they had a sign up, and it said all shirts $1.95, all shoes this price, all this. So they just did like an across the board. They did away with all the color matching and what price it was going to be or whatever, because they were up to $6.95 for a shirt, which I know in a lot of your areas that's kind of normal, and that's kind of normal for Goodwills, but not for a neighborhood thrift store. This also happened with the other thrift store down the street I used to go to. They used to have pricing, like all one thing. I bought this beautiful wool coat, full length, with a huge fox fur collar that I sent to my mom. I paid $6 for it, and she gave it away. And I couldn't believe it. I told her, I said, you live in Cincinnati, it's cold, but when I come up, I want to wear it. And she cleaned house and she gave it away, probably to a Goodwill, and my heart was broken. Anyway, the point of this is, what I'm trying to say is that I don't understand what thrift stores are doing. I mean, I think that they know that resellers are their biggest source of purchases. We go there to buy things to resell. But when they raise their prices and they try to pretend they're a retail store, then they're really defeating their purpose. Because, yeah, they're going to get they're going to get several buyers that are going to pay that amount and buy 1, 2, 3 items. But they aren't going to get somebody like me who's going to come in and maybe buy 50, 75, 100 items, in a day. But I keep seeing them fluctuate. The ones that I think are really good are going really expensive, and then the ones that are really expensive are going back down again. So I'm just really curious to see how this all plays out, because I got really scared when I saw that my favorite sourcing place when both of my favorite sourcing places had gone to this retail mindset, because that really hurts me. But I'm hoping in time, like the larger thrift store I was talking about, they realize that resellers are their biggest customers, and that if they keep the prices really low, yeah, they might lose on that individual seller, but they're going to have bigger overall sales overall. So anyway, I'm kind of worried because it's fourth quarter, and I can't believe I went ahead and invested just about every penny I had into merchandise, but everybody kept talking about fourth quarter, and I'm all good for October. All my bills are paid, we're all good, but I've got to start making some money for November. I mean, when we came down to Florida, we came down with an inheritance, but we had to live on that for a few years without any income, and that really, really hurt us. And just as of a couple months ago, we pretty much depleted any money that we can pull from anywhere else. So when it didn't work out that I could find a job in cyber forensics and start off at 75 grand a year right off the bat out of school, that didn't work out. And I went and got an insurance license, and everybody, as soon as I got the license, everybody was just telling me, you're not going to be able to do this and everything. So I'm just like, all right, fine, I'm not even going to try. And then I did a few other things. Worked for Amazon for about a month, but before they hired me, I told them I needed to go to Cincinnati to see my mom and my family. I have to go there once a year. And they said fine and everything when they first hired me. But when it came down to actually going up there, they said, well, we're sorry, we have to deny your leave. And honestly, as a baby boomer, it was really, really hard to work in that environment. That is definitely a millennial environment. Millennials will do fine there. But I've never been in an environment where I was expected to read off a script instead of use my brain. I guess, I have so many years of customer service experience, and I know why they're doing that. They're doing that so that everybody will say the right thing. But that's all quantity. And, I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm just going to say it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. I can't take a break and be 26 seconds late. I mean, that just doesn't work for me, because I've just always worked for myself my whole life, and that's a really hard environment to get adapted to. Plus, it's as a baby boomer, it's just too hard. Anyway, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Not really. If any of you can give me any suggestions for what I can do, should I leave best offer on my shoes, or should I just continue to do it on my clothing? Any ideas? If anybody wants to take a look at my store for me and maybe even leave some comments, that would be really helpful. I would really be grateful. Oh, it keeps typing out. Um, it's my eBay is the same as my name, Deborah, Deborah, and Brosene, Brosene. But if anybody wants to take a look at my store and leave me any comments about whatever you think I could be doing better or how I could increase my sales, I would be very grateful. And thank you for allowing me to join the reselling community. You guys all have a great day. Bye.